Video we are going to discuss about mutual funds and how to go about it. Right. So I'm using this Grow SIP calculator. There are multiple tools that you can use as well. So we are starting with a monthly investment of 10,000 for this year. Let's consider this year 2023, and let's come back. Annual step up or top up will come back to this as we progress. And the expected rate of return is 15% we are considering. So why 15%? So one particular mutual fund might perform better one year, and the very next year it might not be for performing as well. So let's consider a mutual fund is giving a returns of 18% this year, and next year it might be giving a return of 12%. So as in all, approximately I'm considering it to be a 15%. And in a long okay, mutual funds are basically a long term investment plan, as I mentioned. And let's consider we are currently of 30 years of age and we're planning for our retirement. So I'll make it 30 years. That would be 60 years. We would be 60 years and time for our retirement. So what would be the corpus that we would be building? So our corpus would be around 6.9 crores. And we are all very much aware that every mutual fund has a expense ratio. So expense ratio is basically the commission that the mutual fund charges, and usually they vary between 0.5 to 2%, 2% being on the higher side. One of the example would be SBI mutual funds. So let's consider the expense ratio of 2% here. So let me change this to 13, and we are having a total return of 4.4 crores. That's 2.5 crores less than what a 15% return would have given us, right? So this is exactly why our expense ratio is very important. We have to be considered while investing in mutual funds. Okay, coming to annual step up. Annual step up is basically the amount of money you will be increasing year on year in this particular investment plan. Okay, let's consider 10% to be the top up amount. Okay, 10%. Okay, so 10% of 10,000 would be 1,000 rupees. So for whole of 2023, we will be investing 10,000 every month, and starting from 2024, we'll be increasing it to 11,000. Let's see what is the difference that this particular step up will make to our end corpus. So it's 9.79 or 9.8 crores. So that's almost double the returns that we would get without the annual step up. Why annual step up? So we know that the inflation in our country is around 6 to 8%. So to keep up with inflation, it's we would like to have a top up of 10% every month. And okay, the next question would be, what will I do with this much of money at the age of 60 years? So at the age of 60 years, when you're planning for your retirement, this much amount of money would be more than enough to not be a burden on your children, and that would be an achievement in itself, right? And now coming to now coming to the mutual funds. Nowadays we see a lot of videos on mutual funds that say, okay, the best mutual fund for 2022, the best mutual fund for 2023, the best mutual fund for, and so on. The problem with these mutual funds is that when we go on adding different kinds of mutual funds year on year in our portfolio, this will result in over diversification of your portfolio, which is not good, because the returns that you would be getting from over diversification would be less than what an index investing would return. So we have to avoid it. This can be easily avoided by just studying 2 to 3 mutual funds, analyzing them completely, and just stick to them instead of going on adding different mutual funds year on year. Right. So now let's discuss why over diversification is not suggested. So we are considering here Axis Blue Chip Fund, and if you see, these are the companies that this mutual funds is investing your money in, and you can check their weightage and everything here, right? So another example, let's consider Canara Robeco Blue Chip Equity Fund, right? So even if you consider it, it's the same companies more or less, right? So this is why it is very much important, as I mentioned, to have just two or three mutual funds and keep investing in it. And now let's also discuss how the fund size matters, right? So Axis Blue Chip Fund, I'm also invested in this particular blue chip fund for the last 2 years, right? And when I started investing in this particular blue chip fund, the fund size was around 21,000 crores, and this has grown to 36,000 crores as we look at it now. The problem with the mutual funds and their managers is, I wouldn't say a problem, but there are some restrictions that a mutual fund company has to work based on. So as the fund size increases, the mutual fund do not have the freedom to park their money as it is. So now recently our market was hitting an all-time high, right? So what would we usually do? We would not invest in it. So that kind of freedom is not given to the mutual fund managers. They have to park their money in some of the other stocks, and that becomes extremely difficult when the fund size is increasing. And let's now discuss about this particular mutual fund. So this mutual fund size is currently 8,800 crores, and this and the as this particular mutual fund size is smaller, they have more freedom to invest when they like and where they want. Given and then weightage is already mentioned here, so they would have more freedom to work with your money. This is not a recommendation to invest in this particular mutual fund, but what I would be doing is I would be decreasing my investment from this particular mutual fund into this, because I see there is more. I feel this has more growth in it. Please do your own due analysis before uh, going ahead with any kind of investment, right? So that's it for now, guys. mm, Happy investing.